Hello everyone, good morning, welcome back to the Hearthstone ladder. My name is Rooster, and this is One Turn Kill Warrior. It's very much a combo deck, and it has been resurging in the past few weeks. It's a very tricky deck to play, but it is not very expensive at all. So it can be good for players with less of a collection, but it is definitely not a beginner deck, so don't get that wrong. This is excellent, by the way. I don't think I want a Cruel Taskmaster, but this is pretty much what you're looking for in an opener, I think. So for the uninitiated, the combo we are looking for is some combination of Raging Morgan into... I'm not coining anything out, am I? No. Raging Worgen, charge, and then some kind of activator, some kind of buff, and perhaps a Faceless Manipulator after getting a discount on those cards with Emperor Thorsan. So it's a pretty sweet deck. It takes some getting used to, and it's a lot of math you have to do in your head, basically, because the amount of damage that you can dish in one turn is A, mind-blowing, and B, kind of hard to calculate. It takes a little getting used to, at the very least. I think we're in a really bad matchup here, if this opponent here is playing Freeze Mage, but I could definitely be wrong. Perhaps we don't want to throw the Acolyte out without at least drawing a card off of it first. We could be facing a Tempo Mage with a kind of slowish start, and we are. So that's good, that's good. I am certainly happy to see that. Killing the Loot Hoarder here, not entirely unjustified. I think I will use the Cruel Taskmaster here to get rid of one of those, and then the Axe to get rid of the other. That is probably okay, and it will allow us to kill the Mana Worm next turn, so that's pretty sweet, as well as drawing us a card here. So that's actually pretty decent. Not too unhappy about that. Alright, and the remainder of the deck, of course, is just a rather lot of card draw. Aiming to assemble as many pieces of the combo as you can. If you can get an Emperor take on the Faceless Manipulator, the Raging Worgen, the Charge, and perhaps one more piece, I should probably count that out. I should know that, even though I don't. That's a bit of a shame. But oh well. Can we draw some cards here? We are damaged, so that's good, but we don't have any damaged minions. We don't have any minions we want to play right now. So that's a bit of a pity. Can we do anything about that? We can Blood to Ichor that, but that feels like a bit of a waste. Let's just exit and armor up. We have 9 cards in hand, so we can afford to wait for one turn. I don't want to waste any of these cards, basically. Or cycle Battle Rage for one card, which perhaps I should have done. I could be wrong about it. Let's see what we can do with this. We probably have to kill that, so how are we going to do that? We can Blood to Ichor it and then exit, and then we don't have anything else. So we probably Ichor it and then execute, because that's a big thing. I don't want to have to deal with that for too long. And I guess I'll Battle Rage for a card after all. Although I could also equip the Axe, which is not the worst idea. I'll leave that for next turn though. Armoring up is actually not meaningless. Alright, that's a little optimistic, but sure, I'll take it. We'll also have to execute that, I'm afraid. I don't like it, but we can't leave that alive for any amount of time. We could Faceless it, but that feels a little risky. We can exit and then execute. That's actually quite terrible. We have a lot of combo cards, and that's not not really what we want to do here. Can we draw into something useful? Let's Battle Rage for one more card. Slam is pretty nice. And we can now exit. I'm not too worried about my health right now, and that's good. That is another card to be worried about, but we do have this X here, so unless she frostbolts our face, I don't think we need to be particularly worried. That might very well be a thing that's gonna happen though, and I'm a little scared if I... Okay, well that's not a frostbolt at least, so the frostbolt's coming, isn't it? Ooh, double fire. Am I just dead here? Wait. I'm not dead, but I actually am. Wow. Well, that's unexpected. That is a spell power minion that I probably left alive for a little too long. So yeah, kind of my own fault there. Underestimating tempo mages is one of my my bigger sins. Let's see if we can find anything other than tempo mages. I've actually just battled 2 tempo mages in a row with the deck, and that is probably not the greatest matchup. I will admit. We do run a decent amount of board clears like the Wild Pyromancer, so Zoo should be very decent, I think. I don't think I want to keep the Commanding Shout, but the other cards here seem pretty sweet. I could actually keep the Commanding Shout because it's pretty sweet with the Wild Pyromancer. Have I mentioned I'm not very proficient with the deck? At any rate, it's a bit of an experiment, so I'll have to find out which works the best for me. Of course, if we are not facing Zoo, then this might be a really bad keep, because I don't imagine a Zoo deck would keep... Okay, so we are facing Zoo, that's excellent, because we do have an X, and we are definitely able to kill that. So that's pretty good. And let's see what else is coming up here.
The light protects me.
You love my new ring.
Oh, that's not too impressive. So I guess that's pretty good for us. Do we just cycle the shield block here? I'm not incredibly worried about what our opponent's doing here. Both of these minions actually die without too much effort. I could go for the Ravaging Ghoul and hit this thing. Is that okay? It probably is, but I would like to... I don't need the shield block right now. And the Ravaging Ghoul... the Ravaging Ghoul, it will be more important later. Let's just start and cycle. Every little bit of health helps. And I should have done that in the other order, but it doesn't really matter. Because I already took a little bit of damage. So the main thing you're worried about is having Battle Rage active. I suppose fooling your opponent into thinking your Control Warrior is a thing, and a Control Warrior would have definitely attacked first. And that's one of the extra reasons why you should be careful with stuff like that. A buff would be a little annoying, I guess, but we can still easily deal with this board here. And if we actually clear, assuming we can actually clear, we can actually not clear this, which is a little annoying. We may just have to Ravaging Ghoul right here. I don't like that too much, but it's okay, I suppose. I could use the Wild Pyromancer with the Commanding Shot, but I don't want to use my Execute on anything yet, so I guess the Ghoul will be fine here. That is okay. It also masks our intentions for a little bit, so that's perfectly fine. That is a decent play for him, but will still... actually does not clear the board with the Pyromancer. I could double Pyromancer into... I'll have to be careful about that. getting Rampage on the Wild Pyromancer is also very good, and that actually allows us to do some nice stuff here. So I think I'll go for that, mostly because I have another Pyromancer in hand, so that's pretty sweet. Sure, so let's coin into Rampage. And cycle the Commanding Shout, because that's just the thing that's available to us. Alright, and having a 6-2 on the board is not meaningless. It can deal some damage to the zoo, and if you get your opponent to a little lower, then that's pretty good, because you'll need less combo cards.
Get it out! Get it out!
You don't need a full combo if your opponent's already down to 24 or something. Are we worried about this? We could cycle the extra Commanding Shout and get rid of that. Alternatively, we could actually double Pyromancer and Commanding Shout. How's that? Getting the extra Pyromancer out. It's a little strange, but I think I like it. We're kind of wasting resources here, but as long as we can keep his board empty, we're in a pretty decent spot. So sure. And getting the Loot Hoarder out is also not awful. There we... Oh, that actually didn't work. That is a bit of a shame. Oh wait, we cannot be reduced below 1 health, right? So we will waste 6 damage on killing that, I think. Feels a little wasteful, but we can still deal 6 damage next turn, so that's probably okay. If I cast any spell, I'll wipe my own board, so that's a little awkward, but I don't mind trading the Pyromancers off right now. That's they've done their job. Just need a little more cycle, because it's not really working right now. Kind of want to kill off the Loot Hoarder, but that's not going to lead to a win, I'm afraid. So let's just keep the aggression here, keep his board empty, and see if we can work with this. He can't really flood the board with 1/1 tokens with the Pyromancer on the field, and he doesn't have a great way to get rid of it, except for a Knife Juggler, of course. But yeah, that works, that works. That draws me a card, and that likely gets rid of the Pyromancer too, but it's done its job. We do need to find... Actually, his board is full right now, and he can only deal 8 damage. I guess that's okay. I guess that is actually surprisingly okay. He can trade a bunch of stuff into the Acolyte, but I'm okay with that. That just allows me to kill him quicker. So if he wants to trade into the Acolyte, he can, and otherwise he can hit my face for 8, and that's also perfectly fine with me. I see no need to Cruel Taskmaster here. He'll pretty much have to Power Overwhelming to kill this. I guess that's a thing he can do, can't he? That would be... yeah, that would be a likely scenario, but it's okay. So he'll give me a couple cards, it seems. Or perhaps just one? Well, the knife will have to come out, so... that is awfully nice of him. So he trades it in, and then spawns one more minion. We can still get rid of the Councilman, so that's okay. We get a knife to the face, and then another 6 damage. That is perfectly fine. We'll get another Whirlwind. Well, we basically only have the second Ghoul left, though. That is actually kind of troublesome. Well, at least we can get rid of the Councilman without adding to the board, I think, so that's pretty good. Could also get rid of the Knife Juggler. Is that worth it? We can just cycle a lot here. I'm not against that. Okay, so we've got our combo here. Can we just leave him alone here? No, we do need to get rid of the Councilman. He's got... can we just kill him right now? Wait, we've got the charge, we've got... that's 4. 8... that's 6. 6, 8, 10... he's dead. Okay, that's good. Cool. Okay. Well, that's how you win sometimes. We didn't give him the chance to taunt up, so that's pretty good. If he had played an Argus there, we would be in a bit of more trouble, I guess. But that would have been his final Argus, so he doesn't have a whole lot of taunt besides that. Yeah, people aren't really prepared to face this deck, so that's a big advantage you have here. Matchmaking is really quick today. I'm actually kind of surprised. But that's a good thing, because that allows me to show off more of the deck, so that's pretty sweet. So yeah, as you've seen, it can be definitely beneficial to... I don't think I want the Cruel Taskmaster, but the other two cards here are absolutely fine. It can definitely be beneficial to... What was I going to say? I kind of lost my train of thought there. It can be beneficial to get your opponent lower, because I didn't need a full combo at this point. We didn't need to wait for the Thorazan to do a tick and add the Faceless Manipulator in. The Faceless is basically just for the harder control matchups, because those can be rather rough at times. I think we still want to Blood to Ichor that. And then we'll see how we deal with the board next turn. There could be a Direwolf Alpha coming out, and if a Zoo deck gets a decent start and we don't get a Ghoul quickly, then we could be in trouble. But keeping the Blood to Ichor is definitely correct. Pretty sure about that. And keeping the Acolyte is also rather important, because they do help you fight the board early on. Do I want to cycle the Inner Rage here? I actually do. I don't want to save it for pretty much anything. He's just going to trade the Imp in, and now he's going to trade the Thing in, but I draw an extra card. I think that's actually kind of important to draw some cards early. So I don't mind wasting one. It's not essential to the combo. The combo does become a little harder if you need to actually spend mana to enrage your warrior. So that's something. If you have a surviving Pyromancer, then you can easily make that work. If you get an Emperor off on Blood to Ichor, it can work. You can save the Taskmaster to buff it, which also adds some damage, so that's pretty sweet. Do we play another Acolyte here? That does mean we can't play the War Axe. I think I just want to play the War Axe and we'll wait a turn. I don't like giving Zoo a turn of free knife juggling, but I think it's just what we have to do. And if he floods the board, he's playing into Ravaging Ghoul, which is really dangerous. So I don't think he wants to do that. That is a pretty menacing board. I would really like to see a Pyromancer or a Ghoul pretty soon, because we're taking an awful lot of damage here. It's really nasty. So what can we do here? Not a whole lot, I'm afraid. We actually might just be dead next turn, are we? Knife Juggler represents a lot of damage. If we play any minion, it represents more with the villagers.
What now?
But we can't do much about that, can we? We can eliminate 4 damage off the board by taking 2, so that's probably okay. And then we still have 3 and 2 and 2. So that's another 7 damage. We'll have to wing it, I think. I don't think we can win by just armoring up here, so we're going to have to do it this way, kill this and not armor up. That's kind of awful, but it's the best we can do right now. We do have a goal for next turn, so if we get hopefully a Pyromancer actually, then we can make some stuff work. But for now, we're in a pretty big pile of trouble. Are we just dead here? If that hits face, then that's... could be lethal with a Soulfire, but I don't expect him to have that. Okay, so we can actually stabilize off the Pyromancer here, I think. Let me see if I'm correct about that. At the very least, we're going to need to cast 2 spells with Pyromancer, right? So we could play a Battle Rage, Pyromancer Battle Rage, and then... Or we play Ravaging Ghoul, Pyromancer Execute. But that wastes an Execute. I don't like that plan. So, yeah, I like the Battle Rage. So we either draw a card or we deal an extra damage. I think dealing the extra damage is going to be important. This is hard. This is actually really hard. I think we're just drawing 1 card to make this work here, I think. So Battle Rage. Commanding Shout's pretty sweet. That's actually a lot better. Oh, we could die to Knife Juggler here, or it could die to the Knife Juggler. Oh my gosh. That was really dangerous. Commanding Shout is better than... No, it's not better than Rampage. So we have to do this, then we're down to 1, but we can stabilize off of this. As long as he doesn't draw a Charger right away. That was really dangerous and I didn't realize that, but there's not much we could have done about that. Oh, we could have gone for the safe approach and done Pyromancer, Shield Block, something. We need to Shield Block here, but that's fine, right? That's fine. We need to hit this. Yeah, that's pretty much always happening, but let's do this first. Oh, I like that. Sure, we'll take it easy here. We need to start armoring up so we don't die to Doomguard. So we have 8 health. 8 health is reasonably comfortable, except against Leroy. If we want to be safe against Leroy, then that's a bit of a different story. But this position doesn't look unrecoverable. It's actually not bad. We still lack the Worgen, so we can't quite kill him yet, but that's okay. We can work with this. We've got some card draw.
Get it out! Get it out!
We need to keep clearing his board though, and that's actually quite awful. Even if he has 1 little thing here, that could be the end of us. Can I slam anything? I may have to slam and... Well, let's see what I draw first. This pretty much always happens, right? So let's see what we draw. We can actually kill that if we axe. Sure, that seems alright. So do it this way, and that also allows us to armor up, so that's pretty sweet. Kill this. Now we've got another turn, and we gained 1 health over that turn, so that's pretty good. Yeah, he's pretty likely to have possibly double power overwhelming on hand, so we need to kill him quickly at this point. Because that could be dangerous. Let's see, can we slam that and then execute it? That's reasonably okay. That means we are not killing something, but I guess that's what we have to do. We can't kill everything, I think. Wait, we actually can. We actually can kill everything. So that's good, there's the Worgen. Okay, so we can execute this one. We can kill this one, and play Thorasan. Do we need to play Thorasan? We have Charge, we have Worgen. I think that'll be enough for next turn. I'm not quite sure. But I think it's enough and it's a reasonable threat on the board, so that's okay. If our minions survive on the board, then I think we can kill him next turn, regardless, right? We've got the Worgen, we've got the Charge, so that's 4. Are we dead? Oh. I was really hoping for a Doomguard deck. I was really hoping for a Doomguard deck there. So even armoring up in that turn would not have mattered, right? Perhaps we could have cycled the Commanding Shout to play around it, but Doomguard decks are so much more popular than Leroy decks nowadays. Pretty sure about that. So not playing around Leroy. Playing around Leroy would have been pretty hard regardless, so I don't feel too horrible about that. And we would have killed him next turn. There were not a whole lot of top decks that actually killed us there, so Yeah, sure. Don't mind that too much, that loss. He had a pretty good opener, and that was rough to deal with. Definitely could have played better in some occasions, though. So you don't want combo pieces in your opener hand. Definitely not. We could, against the Warlock, again, keep the Taskmaster. That's not awful. Actually gives us something to do on turn 2, so I think I like it. Especially with the Bloodacre. Sure, sure. That seems like a fine opener, actually. And the Bloodacre works well with the Pyromancer too. So I like that. I don't need to coin out anything, especially since the coin is pretty good with the Pyromancer against most Warlocks, so that's nice.
Buying or selling.
Okay, well, Peddler is not really telling of what our opponent's playing, but we are in a good position to deal with some early boards, especially with the Pyromancer. And if you can keep the Pyromancer alive for a few turns, then that's pretty much the death sentence for any Zoo deck, so that's pretty good. We kind of need to kill that. So that means we commit the Bloodacre and the Cruel Taskmaster. That's actually pretty nice still. Don't mind that too much at all. Because we can't allow that to live. And it does develop a reasonably sized board in actuality, so that's pretty nice. Bloodacre is a very good card, it seems. So we need to kill that, but that's okay. He's building a little bit of a board, but we don't mind trading our minions in here. I'm not going to Pyromancer this, am I? I'm pretty sure I don't. In that case, I think I probably shield block just to see what's available. We don't care too much about hitting his face, especially early on. I could commit an Inner Rage to save a minion on the board, so that is probably worth it. You don't really need to look for your Inner Rages too hard. So I guess I'm okay with this. Sure. Yeah, he's going to trade into our minion, and I would like to preserve the minion to trade into something else. Because that gives me opportunities for next turn. I could have saved the Inner Rage to combine with the Pyromancer too, and I'm not sure whether that would have been better.
Put this apple on your head.
I honestly don't know. But if this allows us to deal with the Knife Juggler, or even custom a Soulfire, that's actually really nice. I don't mind too much. Definitely not, and I think I will commit a Slam to killing that Knife Juggler, although we could do some stuff with a Pyromancer. That might be a little greedy, though. We could actually wait a turn, but I'm a little scared of the Knife Juggler, to be honest. So alternatively, we would have to commit a coin and a Commanding Shout. Then we could still develop the Loot Hoarder afterwards, so that's not awful. And it does preserve the slams. I'm not sure I really need both slams here. So let's just do it this way. I think I can afford to lose a slam, although we're not doing too well on cards, so I really need to draw into more draw, basically. Because if this deck can't combo off, then it doesn't really do a whole lot, and that's kind of a problem. So we could go for the slam here. We definitely can't... Well, actually, against the Warlock, we might actually be able to Emperor without a lot of cards. That's a little dangerous. So let's slam the Councilman, because that's likely a thing that's happening, and then we can just axe and wait for a turn, I think. I'm not too scared of it, although it is a little dangerous. If this allows us to deal with it more easily, then I'll take it, and otherwise we can probably do some stuff with the Pyromancer next turn. I'm pretty much expecting him to flood the board at this point. And then the Commanding Shout plus Pyromancer can do a big thing. We can take a lot of damage here, and that's something I'm keeping in mind. He's playing it pretty conservatively, and I can't blame him for that. Oh, we could just execute that. Do we want to... We could just face tank it, but I would like to just keep his board clear, and the Pyromancer does help in that regard. We can Pyromancer coin... Commanding Shout, that's 2 spells. Execute that, or Blood to Ichor it. Oh, as long as we use the Blood to Ichor last, it will clear the board, right? I think I like that. So let's do it this way. Cycle the Commanding Shout. Double Pyromancer? Well, it's not exactly what we're looking for, but it's fine. Do we have to commit to coin here? I do like that idea. Saving the Execute for a possible second Sea Giant. And saving the X-Charge for next turn. So that's pretty nice. We are in a good position, but we don't have any combo pieces yet, which is kind of a problem. I would love to draw a Battle Rage next turn, and I will give up my board to make that happen. Double Mortal Coil. Or did he get one of the Peddler? That could definitely be true. Okay, that's kind of an awkward card to deal with. Can we afford to waste a Rampage here? We could actually do another Pyromancer and then Rampage this thing. Do I like that? It doesn't draw me any closer to my end goal. That's kind of a problem. But I can hit this and then Pyromancer. That doesn't really work. I can execute it, but I don't like doing that. That's a really awkward card. That's a really awkward card to deal with. I may just have to sacrifice the minion. Or I can Rampage it and then hit the thing. That is probably also fine. If I'm committing the Rampage, then I'm fine with this. Do we commit anything else? I could just commit the Emperor if I'm clearing his board, right? Because he can't really do anything about that. And the Emperor might actually help me actively kill him, so that could be nice. I would be wasting the Emperor, and I can't... I don't need the discount, though. I probably should have played the Emperor there. Because we don't have the greatest means of dealing with this board right now. Really awkward. He's spacing out his minions pretty well, which makes it hard to deal with. The Imp-King boss in particular is a big pain. So we could hit this and then Pyromancer something. It's not really working. Perhaps we just start hitting him. How about that? How about we just start hitting him? We can be dangerous here. I don't want to commit the Ghoul though. But if we commit this, that's we should have played the Emperor last turn. But I think just forcing him to trade his minions into our Emperor is actually fine. Limiting the amount of cards he can draw with his hero power is also good. I think we can just go on the aggression here. Things could start to go sour if he gets his second Defender of Argus. That could be awkward. And if he has a second Sea Giant or perhaps Doom Guards would be kind of awkward. So there's definitely situations in which this is wrong, and I could easily get punished here. But for now it seems he kind of has to trade the Flame Imp in. I don't know about that. I do have the clear here. I don't like the clear, but if I clear most of his board here, then he doesn't really have a whole lot to deal with what I have. If I'm clearing the board, though, this minion will not survive. So I guess I might as well trade it in, because that's never not gonna happen, I think. So do we have to play the Ghoul first? We don't have to play the Ghoul first. We can actually... Can we use an Inner Rage, or can we avoid using an Inner Rage? I don't think we can. Wait, we actually could, but we don't want to.
What now? Okay,
in that case, we need to play Pyromancer first. Pyromancer dies, though. Is that a problem? Not really. Not really. Okay, so we commit to this plan. Oh wait, that does not kill this. Is that a problem? We could execute it. That does clear the board and preserves the Ravaging Ghoul. That's not awful. What else do we need to execute? Let's do it this way. It preserves the Ghoul, which allows us to deal with the future board. Although the Ghoul could have also been played and then deals with whatever he's playing next. But I kind of like saving it. I don't think he's used any rituals yet. He's tapping, alright. He will use a ritual if he... Oh, that's a card. That's pretty big. We'll cycle the Acolyte, or we can play the Ghoul along with the Acolyte. I think I'm going to need the Ghoul though. But drawing an additional card guaranteed, he's going to have to send the Gormok in there. So let's just draw the card first. No, and let's draw some additional cards, sure. All of our combo cards are in the bottom of our deck. That's, did we... Oh, we don't have enough mana to cycle the Commanding Shout. As soon as we draw the Worgen, he's dead. So that's something. He doesn't have any taunts left. Oh, there's the ritual. He was being pretty careful with that, so... Props to him for that. But he has no mana left, so that's good. Gets me an additional card. He does need to deal with the 3-1, so sends the Knife Juggler in, that's fine. I think we can kill him next turn if we just cycle first. If we get a Worgen, we win. So we can draw 2 cards to find the Worgen, and then... Is that correct? Wait, if we give the Worgen charge, then it doesn't... Then it's not enraged yet. Wait, that's a problem. Do we have any activators left? We may not. We may actually not have any activators left, that's a problem. In that case, we may need to be a little careful, actually. Or we can... In that case, take it a little slower. He's unlikely to be able to kill us next turn, so that's okay. That's a pretty good card, so I don't mind that. I should have played the Acolyte. I definitely should have played the Acolyte there. I can still do that now, though. Okay, well... That is also fine. I don't necessarily know I won that game yet, but he can't tap anymore, so his hand must have been pretty worthless. I don't exactly blame him, but I don't think I necessarily won that game yet. Alright, let's see if we can find something other than Zoo Warlock, because I don't mind playing against Zoo Warlock. Playing any deck with double Wild Pyromancer and double Ravaging Ghoul feels pretty good against Zoo Warlock, I will admit. But showing off some of the different matchups would be nice, I will admit. So let's see where we can find any of those. Another mage. Well, it's mages and warlocks today. I guess that's okay. Let's see if we can deal with this mage over here. Do I keep Slam in my opener? I don't hate Slam, but it's not that good without any way of comboing it, I think. Definitely can't keep the Execute. I think I'm keeping the Acolyte just to get some early cycle. In that case, I'm either keeping the Acolyte or the Slam, and I think I'll keep the Acolyte in that case. This is a bit of an awkward opener. I will use the Inner Rage on the Acolyte to draw an additional card. Oh, and especially if the turn after I can get a Battle Rage off, that would be pretty sweet. Okay, let's see what kind of mage we're up against here. Pretty much assuming it's going to be Tempo Mage all the time, but that is not a guarantee. Not by any means. Show me Mage. What do you got? I don't have a Fiery Borax, so your Mana Worm is safe with me. I would prefer if it were Freeze Mage, I think, though. Oh, actually I wouldn't. Freeze Mage is actually pretty terrible for this deck, because it's really hard to deal damage after they've Ice Blocked. That's actually really awkward. So Loot Hoarder is not a good omen. We could kill that, but I would prefer going Acolyte here. I don't have to Inner Rage this. I will draw 2 cards unless she Frostbolts it. So armor at every opportunity, I guess. Unless in the early game where I really need to draw some cards. Yeah, Ice Mages, Ice Blocks are going to be a problem. Could be Tempo Mage with Loot Hoarder, could be Reno Mage. Reno is also pretty terrible because Reno Mages have a tendency of playing Ice Block. And I don't think Ice Block is something I want to see right now. Let's draw a card first. So we could... I think we just want to commit some minions to the board here. So for example, something like this. Do we want to Blood to Ichor that? I don't know about that. He's not a freeze mage, so that's good in that aspect, but if it's not a freeze mage, I think I want to commit some minions. Just to make the elemental attack into our minions, basically. That would be really nice. Could just all die to a Flamemaker. Okay, so I'm expecting Reno Mage at this point. I think that's pretty bad, especially if she starts freezing us, but we can deal with the Water Elemental, can't we? Let's draw first. Yeah, we can just trade everything into the Water Elemental first of all, so that's okay-ish. Yeah, let's draw some more cards, why not? This trade is happening regardless, right? So, could go for the Pyromancer. Does that do anything? I kind of want to save the Pyromancer for the Acolyte, actually. Well, let's do it this way. Just draw a bunch of cards, and we'll be fine. More cards, more cards, more cards, and... Oh, and then the Fiery War Axe next turn can deal with the Elise. That's perfectly okay. Do we want to equip it now? Or do we... I think I want to commit the Acolyte here. We could actually Inner Rage that. I don't hate it. Actually means I'm drawing an extra card off of it and forces her to kind of deal with it. So that's kind of okay. So we do have... we did want to keep the Acolyte for the Wild Pyromancer, did I say that? Well... It's not really necessary, I think. Okay, I'm curious to see what comes out now. That is a pretty cool card. We could have a chance as long as she doesn't develop the Ice Block. That's pretty much the game right now. So, War Axe against the Acolyte, that's pretty nice. Anything else? We'd probably trade that one in. Develop the Loot Hoarder, I guess. We could Cruel Taskmaster, but I don't think that's particularly necessary. I do want to spend my mana, though. Oh, I could actually do this and draw 2 cards. How's that? Yeah, I don't hate that. Then we can commit the Loot Hoarder too. So draw 2 cards now, with the Battle Rage. And then commit the Loot Hoarder, and then we've got 9 cards. That's excellent. Okay. She can't deal with both of these unless she commits some kind of spell, so that's okay. And I can deal with Elise later. That's no problem. She knows I'll trade in, so that's fine. In that case, I will axe Elise. Oh, I can actually slam that and keep one of my minions alive. Is that worth it? It might actually not be worth it. But cycling the slam is important, and I don't have a lot to do with my mana this turn. So I guess it's actually fine. Let's trade this one in. Oh, let's be careful with not drawing too many cards, actually. Kind of a problem. I can develop the axe, that's fine. So let's do this. Trade this. Oh, whoops. I didn't have to do that, of course, but I'm playing another axe, and that's that. Yeah, so I should have just face-checked that one instead of attacking face, and I still had a 2/1 minion on the board. That would have been nice. Nice to have that, yeah. Okay, Mana Worm, that's interesting. I wouldn't expect a mana worm in a deck like that. Oh, that's painful. That is rather painful. Hoping for some kind of whirlwind effect. That's fine. I have the Pyromancer, so that's okay. We pretty much just need the Thorazan at this point. So how about the Pyromancer? Pyromancer will be able to do some stuff here. What spells do we commit here? I guess I can Rampage it after the first one, so we'll cycle the Commanding Shout first. Do we want to commit the Rampage, though? Or do I think I might need it? I don't know about that. I could go for the Ravaging Ghoul, but I do need to commit one more spell. I guess we could go for Shield Block. Oh, then I can't Ravaging Ghoul, of course. We could Rampage. Rampage is still okay. And then what other spell, though? Oh, I could just go for the Cruel Taskmaster. That's actually fine. As long as I still have a Cold Blood in hand, then I don't mind doing this. Alright. So we've got the Worgen, we've got the Charge. We don't have the Rampage anymore. But that's okay. She's down to 25, so I don't think I need it. I could be wrong about that, though. Let me think. I'm going to need to draw into my Thorazan. Well, it'll happen sooner rather than later. So that's okay. Let's Shield Block, draw a card. Could actually Ghoul and Battle Rage for more cards. Would that be okay? I can execute this if I need to. I actually don't hate that. We need to kill her quickly, right? I think we're going to need to kill her quickly, so that's okay. Let's attack, face, and execute. Okay, how much do we got? We've got the Worgen, we've got the Charge, we've got the Inner Rage, that's 8, so we've got 16. We need one turn of Thorazan. And we need her not to Ice Block. She doesn't have the Ice Block because she didn't use it right now. So that's good. We might trade, but then she might heal. We can just force her into the trade, right? So we definitely play Thorazan here because we have 3 combo pieces. So that is 6, 11 mana. That will be absolutely fine. So Thorazan comes first. This goes face, just to deal some additional damage, because that's kind of important. Do we need to commit anything else? We could Blood to Ichor it. I don't think that's necessary. I think she will Flame Strike this down, and then we've basically won. Unless she Ice Blocks right here. So let's see if she... Ooh, Arcane Intellect. That could be trouble. That could actually be trouble. Let's see if she has it right now. Flame Lance is that one. Okay. That means she's dead, right? We've got the Worgen, we've got the Charge, we've got the Inner Rage, and... Alright, well, we didn't get to get a hit in, but that is the deck, and it performed admirably, I would say. That was actually pretty nice, and it gives some nice insight into the workings of the deck, which I always appreciate, because you will be seeing this deck a lot on the ladder, if you haven't already. So that is Combo Warrior. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any suggestions of what deck to play next, please leave a comment below, and as usual, have a great day everyone, and I will see you again tomorrow.